Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, issue number 47. Now, I do admit there have been a lot of good presidents, mayors, and prime ministers, and there have been some bad ones who don't know what they're doing. And I think this comic actually portrays how sometimes that we shouldn't let a position be given to the wrong kind of people. So the cover, you have Filthy Rich in his presidential mayor poster, and I'm guessing that this issue led to some big issue. So the cover has Filthy Rich saying, "And I do solemnly swear as the new mayor of Ponyville to honor and uphold the town chapter as the law of Equestria." So the ponies actually, Twilight and Applejack talk about saying, "I still can't believe Filthy Rich is the new mayor. Believe it, sister. The voters have spoken." And so they're speaking of, like, what they're going to call Mayor now, due to the fact that her title has now been passed. And so we see him trying to make all the false promises and stuff, and he says, "I promise you this is the beginning of a new Ponyville." And we see the first thing that's going to collapse, and he's like saying, "That was a planned demolition." And so we see the next day, Fluttershy waking up to a horror seeing construction work. And you got one of the ponies saying, "Okay, Charlie, back it up. Put the donuts over there, Digger." And so you got Fluttershy saying, "Excuse me?" "Oh, morning. Good morning, miss. Oh, we didn't wake you." And so she realizes to her horror that Filthy Rich has planned to build a big stadium where Fluttershy is, which is inconsiderate, and one, you're taking someone's land away. This is going to destroy more environments and more homes. And he's like, "It'll be suitable for hoofball, boofy ball, track and field, concert, demolition derbies, all-night dance parties, all sounds and louds and disturbing evenings." And basically Fluttershy points out that he's scaring the animals, so they mainly get back to work and get all the dynamite and stuff. Rarity gets ready to see what mail she has, and she realizes to her horror, goes and confronts the new mayor, which I actually give her credit for, and where was the secretary? And so she says, "You can explain something to me." Hello there, Miss Rarity. How can I help you?" "My business taxes have tripled. What in a crazy is going on?" And he points out that he's just making a few cutbacks and raising the tax a bit more. But she points out that he made good promises, and she realizes to her anger that he's just making more problems. So we see Applejack heading off, but you see Granny not wanting to go, and she says, "We donated Apple family land to the city to get that playground made the first time, as the hill collapsed like a popped balloon." So Applejack and the others get ready to see the new equipment, and Filthy Rich says, "I'll tell you folks, this is a real honor getting to be here today." And so we see Diamond Tiara and Apple Bloom getting on the equipment, but something happens that breaks and the rest of the equipment. And she's like, "What in the hay? All this stuff is breaking. That swing broke." And so Applejack realizes to her anger that this was all made from shoddy material. And Filthy Rich tries to defend himself, saying, "Well, I got the cheapest construction company so I could find to build the playground. To save money, you know?" So later on, we find out that the ponies are now more mad than ever due to the fact of all the false promises. Yet, Rainbow Dash is the only one not complaining, saying, "Yeah, but he's getting the football stadium built, just like he said he would," which is the only promise he kept. But we find out Fluttershy hasn't slept in weeks, and that they're also practicing in that. So they decide to go to Mare, and they're like, Miss Mare? Oh, Twilight, what a lovely surprise. So they ask her to come back, but she points out that it's too late for them, and even asks how awful it was. And they say, awful, unsafe, taxing, disturbing, no fun. I like how Rainbow Dash is the only one who's not complaining, saying, I've been good. But she points out that she can't do anything about it. They ask her to come back, but they decide to leave. And you got her saying, I'm sorry, Ponybill. So later on at the town meeting, we've got every pony more furious than ever. And you've got Filthy Rich saying, after all, I'm happy to hear from my contributors. And so you've got the Cakes making complaints about the tax rising. You've got the teacher complaining about everything else. And everyone is complaining. And you've got a reference from The Simpsons saying, those potholes on Main Street still need to be fixed. As a reference to The Simpsons. And he tries to ask that he's making these promises like he should. And that's what a mayor does. But you've got Miss Mare saying, that's not a mayor's job. And she points out that saying that a mayor doesn't make promises, that she's meant to be there for the people and help them out. And they try to ask her back, but suddenly something happens, and it's a Trutzworm. So Miss Mare gets into operation, asks Fluttershy how to deal with it, and turns out it's loud sounds. And they get Applejack and the other Earth ponies to make a diversion. So we see them heading to the construction company with no one looking. They set up the signal flare, and boom! The Terrorworm flees, and Filthy Rich asks Miss Mare to take her role back as mayor. She says, that was incredible. You saved all of Ponyville. Oh, please, I just did what any good citizen did. Now, she pretty much asks about resigning and that, and points out all the things that he'll need to do, showing that she'll take her title back. And we see Fluttershy now happy to have her home now saved from noise. And yeah, this is the story. So, what do I think? The issue is pretty good. It points out how someone like Filthy Rich will make false promises, not showing any concern for anything else, and just pretty much trying to be a terrible mayor. And this is a good metaphor for presidents, politicians, and so on. So the comic deserves a good thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.